Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody in the audience. First and foremost, I would like to say that we are very, very great, happy and full of joy that everyone here is with us. You are absolutely in for a treat. So today, as people start popping up on the screen in the individual timings, today you are involved or you're about to witness the feM.trepreneur event, which is a program that was developed through the Graphic and Media Design program at LCC, UAL. And to give you a bit of background, my name is Christopher Luchakwaku. I am the specific brief leader. The brief in which we're talking about here was called Manifest, which is, as many people can probably think about or agree with, is that as we've been progressing through these year and a bit, we have turned into a phase where it's time where we now have to start creating our situations rather than falling victim to them and to taking them as they come. Keeping in that spirit, I would like to salute and to introduce you to 5 amazing practitioners and now graduates, I'm happy to say, that have undertaken this brief. And what is happening here is that this brief is specifically about giving students at the time the opportunity to write down and to envisage what they want to do post-university education. What are the things that they're going to transition beyond employment, moving into taking charge or planting those seeds of prosperity and opportunity, not just for themselves, but for others as they move forward. And I absolutely promise I won't take too much of their time. I just wanted to give you a background that this brief was taken over the course of 3 months. And what you're about to experience is 3 months condensed down to 1 hour, where they're going to give you an insight into the work that they have produced, the ideas and the small seedlings that have turned into business ventures that are either pursuing funding and development or are actually going into full launch and now they're marketing them. So for all of you that are watching, this is an opportunity not just to witness what has been done, but also be involved, also getting support these individual practitioners as they're going forward. They will be mentioning their name, they will be dropping individual links, social media handles of which you can sign up to. And please make sure that you do support this next round of this next generation of graduates, because these are the ones that are going to start building the institutions in which we will all benefit from. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, first things first, let me introduce our very, very, very first presenter for this evening. And we have an original product or initial service called Concept, which is an organic skincare brand. Over to you. Just unmute yourself and then we go.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ketevani Katamadze from Georgia, Tbilisi. And I want to introduce with you my organic skincare brand, which would include natural ingredients, sustainable materials, and be produced locally in Georgia. So first, talking about ingredients, here are like the basic ones. Some products would have some add-ons and etc., but this is like the basic products that I'll be using. Then about materials, I'll be using 3 types of sustainable materials. First would be reusable and returnable packaging. That would, I'll talk about that later again. This type of packaging can be cleaned and reused, and I would be using a jar as a reusable packaging. Also biodegradable packaging that would easily break down, such as like either bags or the boxes, and also recyclable cardboard. To start with the problem, I'll tell you that overpriced imported brands are very big problem in Georgia. We only have imported brands and really little like variations of Georgian local brands. And also there are no trust to local brands because of lack of information, because of not knowing where it comes from, and etc. And also having lots and lots of waste from the skincare brands, or just like beauty products with the packaging, boxes, and everything. And I came up with a solution for this as it will be produced locally, it won't have an extra charge. So it will be like tax-free. It will be transparent. And I think it's really also trending that every beauty product would include ingredient list and process of production and safety regulations. So my brand would include this as well, and it will create no more waste because of using sustainable materials, and also minimizing the ink usage on the boxes and etc. My brand statement comes with mission, vision, and value. Mission is to make it easy and affordable to people to make their everyday lives of what they use and buy, to getting into like natural organic products without like taxing the planet's resources in the process. My vision is to offer natural and organic skincare that would cost less but still have high quality products. Also support local economy, because in COVID-19 time, because of COVID-19 time, our Georgian economy is going really low. And also offering services to help reduce the waste. And this comes from the reusable materials as well. And my value is to have organic, natural, and sustainable, and also affordable products for Georgian customers. This is my mock-up for a skincare specific hydration cream. And you can see how clean and how minimal use of ink there is. I also wanted it to be really easily recognizable from the shelf, and it would vary in colors, the boxes. So day moisturizer would be like lighter, and night moisturizer would be darker. Then I'm going to my competitions, which are Georgian local brands. Each brand offers natural ingredients, but to start from first one, it uses mostly goat milk. Like the base is goat milk, and everything is like produced in Georgia. It's natural, and it's also for body, face, and hair. Second one also has handmade natural products, but is kind of, it has not very lots of variations. Third one is one of the first Georgian brands that was founded in 2018. So you can imagine how little our market is. And fourth one is the newest, which only has 5 products, but is also really expensive. Difference that would make concept unique would be affordable and transparent idea, service that would offer refill and return for returning customers, that would also decrease the amount of packaging, and also personalized skincare routine. Visual aspect would be simple, sustainable, and use of less. My target audience are, I chose 3 personas. They all 3 are female, because for now, currently, I'm only doing for female, but then I also have in mind to go on to male as well. They have different incomes, they are different in age, and all they seek for different things to find in skincare. So then going to my survey statistics that I made, according to total 44 women from Georgia, 90% would like to use local skincare, but there isn't enough so they can have an option. 65% always focus on the environment and a sustainability aspect when they buy products, and 72% prefer organic skincare over some not known ingredients. Sorry. I have a plan for partnering up with different stores and different chains. First, starting with an online skincare platform, which really supports Georgian-made products and offers all that I told you before. Is also offering delivery service, easy access that is online, no commission, and also instant popularity because of their social media. Then going on to concept store in Georgia, Tbilisi, capital of Georgia, which has a variety of products, has exclusive imported brands, and also focuses on skincare a lot. They also offer delivery service, in-store purchase, and also marketing campaign on their social media as well. Then going on to a bigger part, that is for pharmacy chain that is located in 120 places, not only in Georgia, not only in Tbilisi, and is trusted by Georgian customers since 2007. So it's more transparent, and more people know about it. They offer all around the country products. They have easy access and different offers for the customers, such as buy one, get one free, and etc. Then going on to a bigger perfume trade chain, which has almost 10 branches in capital of Georgia, has luxury brands and exclusive brands as well. The product would be placed amongst luxury brands, with which will give instant trust of the customers, finding different buyers, and also TV and press coverage. Then I'm going to introduce my concept team. First is my friend, who would be a manager that would manage like public and business and sales and marketing. Second one is me, who would mostly be a designer, branding, marketing, PR, and also communications, because of as I'm living in London, I have more access to that kind of communications and etc. And third one is an actual biologist who actually makes the product and is specialized in mechanisms that actually govern the functioning of the biological systems within health, technology, and the environment. So this is our team. Then I'm going to talk about the timeline. I know this might change by the time, but this is what I predict for now. After 6 months, I would have already partnered up with blush buyers and other social media influencers, such as models from Georgia, TV people, some actresses, and other celebrities from Georgia. Then 12 months, I would add 3 product types. So as I now only have face hydrator, I would add different products as well. I'm not sure about this, but I hope that there might be a profit, and also having a separate online platform, so not only like relying on blush. And then in 18 months, I also want to add 5 product types that would make 9 in total, and also creating a pop-up shop. Financial plan is to like the product price list is it's really different currencies. So £10 for 50 milliliters and £16 for 100 milliliters, which is really like affordable for Georgia in Georgian currency. And finance that I would need would be for packaging, ingredients, then for an online platform, and later in 18 months for a pop-up shop. Thank you so much. These are my details, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation and also my brand.
Amazing, thank you. Please, if you can, please put those details in the chat, and then we can post the link so people can follow and support you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No worry. And one thing I would like to add on top of this is that these are all individuals that these projects or these concepts were not presented to them in order to go forward. These are things that they have individually developed themselves in order to identify the gap in the market or a specific interest, and then gone forward to take these things forward. One thing that is highly important at this point is that these are real ventures that are looking to take place and to really go and make their mark in a specific area. So if there are any questions at all, things that you want to raise, please put them in the chat or in the Q&A questions area, and we'll address them as soon as each person has spoken. So now that I'm done in that element, let me introduce you to our second speaker, which will be Lydia, and she'll be presenting her travel service called EV Travel.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can see my screen.
Yep, all good.
Great. So I'm Lydia, and I'm here to present you a venture that I've been wanting to bring to life with my sisters and my mother for years, but we never got around to it until now. So this is feM Travel, and I will introduce the concept with this video.
feM Travel is an Athens-based personalized travel service which invites solo female travelers to visit and experience the city based on their own lifestyle and interests. Our motto is By Women for Women. We don't do pre-built packages, but rather create tailored itineraries to explore the greater area of Athens in unique ways, beyond the touristic traps, and creating the sensation that the visitor is accompanied by a local friend who offers support the whole time. This is how it works. We first get to know you via virtual meeting when we listen to your dream travel experience carefully and gain an understanding of your expectations. We plan and organize your daily itinerary based on your traits, eating habits, and taking into account your budget, saving you all the time and effort of doing this alone. After discussing any potential adjustments with you, you receive your itinerary digitally through our app, along with further information, maps, and links. Everything you need is safely stored within the app and will be with you every step of the way. We have been dreaming of a world where solo traveling for women is easy, relaxed, and intoxicating. feM Travel is here to make the art of traveling superb for women all across the world.
So you're now probably wondering where the name comes from, and F in Greek is an adverb that means well. So combined with the word travel, it means traveling well or the art of good travel. Having said that, the idea came to us because the travel landscape is changing and it's becoming more specialized and convenient. And women become more and more financially stable and independent and prioritize travel in a way that fulfills them. Contrary to popular belief, women aren't scared of traveling by themselves, regardless the socially and politically turbulent times. So, and another thing is that the internet offers a vast amount of information to plan ideal trips, yet today's distracted consumers are often overwhelmed by the overload of information and options. So it's hard to successfully organize a trip without wasting precious time. And that's why we wanted to create this. Our mission is to offer more time and less stress when it comes to traveling. Our vision is to build an inclusive community of female travelers, and our values lie on sustainability, sustainable tourism, taking into account the economy, the society, and the environment. Our services will be delivered digitally, and so the website and the mobile app are vital parts of the service. Visually, they're built to represent traveling through the lens of females, of women, and we wanted to take them away from the typical tourist visuals that represent Greece among other travel agencies as much as possible. So this is how our website will look like. It will introduce the idea. I will have useful information about our app and about the city of Athens. And it will also guide people through the steps that they need to take in order to use the service. And it will introduce the team behind the brand. The most vital step is for us to get to know the clients. So in order to do this, we will have a web version and an app version of a travel form where people will be able to fill in their details, tell us about their interests, so that we can plan their ideal trip for them. This will include personal details, budgets, and dates. The mobile app will act as a space for the travelers to safely store all of the information that they'll need during their trip. So that includes payments, taking notes, having maps that will guide them around their itinerary, links to other useful apps that they might want to use, and also a lot of information about solo traveling, which is quite different to traveling with friends or family, and to information about the city of Athens. So this is how we plan to have the itinerary and the maps looking on the interface of the app. Some key insight that directed us to the female audience were that 86% of them travel alone despite turbulent events. Almost half of them travel alone for freedom and independence, while 75% are interested in culture, nature, and adventures, which are all combined in the experiences that Athens has to offer. So based on these statistics, we developed personas that would give our service, that would guide our service in relation to our audiences. And we created 4 different ones because our service is a tailor-made service. So we wanted it to be inclusive and to cover multiple budgets, ethnicities, ages, interests, and seasons. So what we've done so far, the research is based on different characteristics of different personas. We chose to focus the service on the greater area of Athens in Attica, Greece, because we have lived there our whole lives. We know the city, we know the spirit, the atmosphere, its secrets, and we know the people that live there very well. So we wanted to help women experience Athens the way we know it, while establishing the city as a bucket list destination and contribute in Greek tourism and local businesses growth. So in the 6th Travel Trade Athens 2018, the mayor of Athens actually spoke about total restoration of Athens, and Athens being one of the top destinations in Europe. So we hope that we could contribute to that. This is where F-Travel stands in the competitive landscape. So our advantages are that we address women, we understand the female psychology and identify with our clients' needs, and also that we respect their wish to make the most out of their vacation time based on their uniqueness and their personality. So this is why we stand between women-oriented businesses and tailor-made businesses. So the team consists of 4 women who grew up in Athens, and they belong in different generations, have distinct interests and lifestyles. And hence we offer a unique combination of knowledge, enthusiasm, excitement, and wisdom. Looking ahead, we wanted to soon launch the business, establish a customer base and a community, and soon start offering back to this community by, for example, helping abused women overcome their mental health problems through traveling, through leisure, and improving their mental health that way. And another potential future possibility we want to have is expand our service to other areas in Greece, and then potentially in other destinations in Europe and globally at some point in the future. So thank you very much for listening. I would really appreciate it if any of you or anyone you know could donate to this link that I will drop in the chat here to help me bring this venture to life. And there's also a little reward waiting for you after the donation, so please check out the link. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lydia, for that. Unfortunately, one person said that they were unable to see your screen, but what we'll do, since this has been recorded, they will get access to this video later on, so they'll be able to access that later. But also, Lydia's work, I was able to see, maybe it's just something, an anomaly there, but also Lydia's work is also up on the Graphic and Media Design Show website. So we'll be able to drop a link to that. So Lydia, while we're probably setting up the next one, if you can grab that, and then we can post that in the chat.
Absolutely.
So perfect. So as I said, we have a variety of specific ventures that have been undertaken by these 5 women here. And what was important for this course was to be able to support and to enable each individual to explore their venture in the way that was most relevant to within cultural context, understanding the different methods of their audiences, and the best thing for them to do to utilize as they're progressing through the lockdown, but also on the other side of it. And when we talk about the lockdown, there are, of course, many different ways of interpreting how many people have gone through it. But in this case, we have Natalie, who discovered her interest in food anthropology through this year's lockdown, and wants to speak about how she connects people to different cultures through a night of breaking bread together. Right? So Natalie, while you're smiling ever so quietly on Zoom right now, please come off mute, please share your presentation and let people see how they can support what it is that you are offering and suggesting. And by all means, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll be able to send some more links to your information. Just as a reminder, all of these things are real. So you can support them, you can get involved, whether that's about other extra information, connecting them to the right people, or supporting them with funds. Everything is appreciated at this juncture. Over to you, Natalie.
Thank you. I was wondering if anyone can see what I'm seeing.
All good.
Okay, good. Hi, my name is Natalie. I'm here to present to you my venture. Like what Chris said, I think the year of lockdown has sort of made me find my interests, and this is it. So it's called Culture Companion. And what it is, let me just start out with saying, like, I'm sure everyone knows what sliced bread is. That's what we eat on a daily basis. I'm sure most of us do, but do we know the origins of it? It's actually originated from the US, but perhaps you didn't know the bagel was originated from Poland, or perhaps maybe you know, maybe you don't, but the baguette is from France. The classic Chinese bao is from the northern part of China. And the classic arepa, which is a South American staple. The pita bread from the Middle East, and the staple injera in Ethiopian cuisine, and also the lavash, which is culturally connected to the Western and Central Asia. So my point is saying that bread, although it's the oldest man-made foods and a staple to many cultures around the world, food can tell stories of a country, and food is associated with your own cultural identity. And I really like this word companion because it derives from the old word penny, which is the Latin word for bread. And also com means with. So the term companion is with bread. So there's this term of breaking bread together, and it means to have a meal with someone. And this was where my venture, my company is called Culture Companion, came about. And so the objective of my venture is to celebrate and share and promote awareness of food heritage, history, and traditions around the world to people. And how would I be doing that? Is through designing food experiences that can educate and inform people about food cultures around the world. And so Culture Companion is a platform that educates on food culture, food history, and traditions around the world through unique design food-focused experiences like pop-up dinners, supper clubs, and workshops. And this is something that we have done in the night where we traveled around the eggs. So we start off the night with breaking bread just to make things a bit lighter. And this cost £35 per person. And we traveled around the world with single theme of the classic, very safe egg. And we started off with Europe and North America, where we did a classic deviled eggs, but we did it on a twist and a play on different cultures, where in European style, we did it with the Scandinavian influence, where we added smoked salmon and dill, and the classic American, just paprika on top. And then we go to China, where we did a century egg. I'm not sure if everyone knows what century egg is, but it's a very classic dish or ingredient native to the Chinese cuisine. And then we go to Japan, where we did tamago kake gohan, which is a very simple poached egg. No, not really poached egg, onsen egg with a small bowl of rice and some furikake, Japanese furikake on top. And then we go to Turkey, where we did like a classic Turkish breakfast of a big spread of just bread, and then a Turkish menemen, which is a scrambled egg with some spices and some veg and some peppers in it. And then we ended off to Mexico, where we did a very classic flan, which is also culturally influenced in other parts of the world, like France, for example. So Culture Companion, join us where we enjoy a night of traveling with food. So in times like this, I think we all are dying to travel, so why not travel with food? Learn how the Polish greet their guests in Poland with bread, or learn how to use your hands to eat like how they do it in India, or even learn about what different dumplings are like around the world, like Georgia, Italy, or in China. But wait, I'm not done with the presentation. Just a plug here, if you have an event space or you're an investor yourself, or you even like to enjoy to eat, or you're interested in attending supper clubs, or even a collaboration perhaps, or even just to break bread with me, these are my details, and reach out to me and my email or into my DMs at Culture Companion on Instagram. Right, thank you.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.
I'll be calling you. I'm missing going out for food. It's been a year. I know everyone has been fully, clicking on their Uber Eats and Just Eat and Deliveroo and everything and hoping that it can work. It's not the same. And one thing that's truly appreciated is the journey and the fusion of foods and how it travels. That's something that has very rarely been discussed in terms of it in absolute depth, and is actually accessible to the general public. And I think a lot of people understand. So when we start claiming this is our traditional food, are you sure? This is something to be really, really conscious about. So not to stay too long, but one thing I'll say is please make sure you add a link into the chat, Natalie, so people can follow what it is that you're doing and to also support. Like I said, as a reminder to everybody and all of our attendees that are watching, that these are all real projects. These are all real ventures. These are things that are happening. These are not theoretical elements and components. These are things in motion. So anything that you do to support it just keeps it going and keeps it growing. So please do that. Now, just to make sure that we stay on time, because I know we're cutting it close, is that we have Juweria, who will present Jhumka 47, an Indo-Pakistani jewelry brand. And seeing this is the development and the story behind this specific story is something really, really beautiful. And I'm really looking forward for sharing that with everybody here. Please, Juweria, take it away.
Thank you, Chris. Hi, everyone. My name is Javeria. 1 second, I'll share my screen and then we'll get started. Hi, as I said, my name is Javeria Mariam. I'm a graphic design student at LCC with a keen interest in problem solving and innovation. And today I will present Jhumka 47. But before I go on to present Jhumka 47, I just wanted to shed some light on why I started this. I am a British Pakistani, and in today's society, I see that there's not a lot of representation of Pakistani culture, or either it's too misinterpreted that it's not what it should be. So I wanted to do something that could, become a medium of education of my culture, but also, give something back to the community as well. So Jhumka 47 is an Indo-Pakistani Jhumka brand that will bridge the gap between Indians and Pakistanis living in the UK. And by this, I mean India and Pakistan used to be one country. And in 1947, they separated. I won't go into details why they separated, but so now they're two different countries. And they have different religions and cultures, but the one thing that's still in common, I mean, not just one, but there's a lot of common things such as food, the kind of clothing we wear. There's similarities in religions as well, but one of the main things that's common is the love for jhumkas. And if you don't know what jhumkas are, jhumkas are these bell-shaped earrings traditional to India and Pakistan. And they hold a very sacred value for both Indians and Pakistanis. Jhumkas originate from Hindu culture. Oh, sorry, Hindu religion. I'm sorry. So the god Nataraj is praised through a dance form called Bharatnatyam, And in that dance form, people worshipping would wear these bell-shaped jewelry accessories, and then the sound and the sound and the shapes created through those movements are sort of a worshipping act towards the god Nataraj. And in Pakistan, jhumkas are seen as a are symbolized as like virtue, and sorry, I'm forgetting what I should be saying. I apologize. Okay, so but the main reason I'm doing this is the jhumka industry in the UK is slowly dying, and the reason being is that jhumkas are expensive. They're very limited. The availability is limited here. They're heavy to wear because of the intricate patterns and detail that goes into making them. And then the color range is also limited to a few colors, 3 to 4 colors. So this has severely impacted the demand of jhumkas in the UK. So with Jhumka 47, the mission is to provide responsibly produced, beautiful statement jhumkas. So the products will be like a fusion of Indian, Pakistani patterns with Western materials. And then we will focus on creativity and craftsmanship and like providing high quality products. Therefore, I chose my material of choice to be acrylic. Acrylic is lightweight, it's inexpensive, it's recyclable and durable. And there's an extensive range of color available, which will allow me to experiment and bring something that people have not seen. Let's talk about competition. Since it's a fusion of Indian Pakistani culture with Western materials, my jhumkas create a unique market for itself. Currently, there isn't a product like this on the market, but here are a few brands that are, leading in acrylic jewelry industry. Tati Divine, she's the pioneer brand of acrylic jewelry. They've been running for 20 years. Now they have 2 stores in London with 42 employees, and then their annual revenue is £6 million. Here we have Wolf and Moon, which was started by Hannah Davis. Hannah Davis started making jewelry at the age of 16, and she soon gained popularity online, which allowed her to launch her brand Wolf and Moon in 2011. They've been in business for 10 years. They have 19 employees, and their annual revenue is 1 million. We have cakes and cake rocks. Sarah Meredith has an Etsy shop called Cake Rocks. She's been in business for 12 years, and her annual revenue is unknown, but she's made over 17,000 sales. Okay, so now I will present some of the designs that I have created. These are representation of the kind of products that I intend to sell at Jhumka 47. The inspiration for these designs comes from like Indian and Pakistani cultural heritage, such as some of the designs are inspired by holy patterns. In Pakistan, truck art is really famous. So some patterns are, inspiration from there. And then of course we have Islamic geometric patterns as well. Here is the classic royal blue jhumka with pearl beads. So you can see the starting point from a drawing to actually the final product. The inspiration from this comes from Rangoli patterns, which again comes from Festival of Colors, and it's an Indian festival. Here's a little close-up of it, the details that go that went into creating that. The second is the second product here, the inspiration from this comes straight from the Indian flag. The wheel on the Indian flag is Ashoka chakra, which means virtue and truth. So that was carried out into this design, and then I use contrasting colors to elevate the overall design. Here I have icy blue acrylic jhumka. This is quite unique in itself. The inspiration for this comes from Islamic geometric patterns. Jhumkas are traditionally known to be round in shape, but I've gone for a geometric look here, and I think it works very well, and it's actually one of my favorite ones so far. Okay, this is the last one I'll show you, and this is the inspiration from this comes from like truck art, little patterns that go into it. I've used a silver acrylic and then engraved the truck art patterns onto it to create a more traditional Pakistani look. And on the beads, I've engraved Jhumka 47 that goes around on both sides to complete the overall look. Maybe not the last one, there's one more. So this one is, so the inspiration from this comes from Mother Nature. This is double layered. So this is something that I don't think that there's a double layered jhumka ever to exist. So this is quite unique itself. The design itself is very contemporary, the shapes that I've used here. And then the engraving on it is inspired from like the patterns created by the sand in deserts, and then the patterns of the leaves and so on. Okay, so now I'll share with you customer personas. Because it's a product that is accessible, will be accessible to anyone who would, who likes to wear earrings. But because there's a wide gap in the target audience, because I'm starting from 19 to, people, women around the age of 40. So I wanted to share a mixture of different target audience that I'm working towards. And how these people would, how these products will come and relate to these people. So first we have Neha Sharma. She's 32. She's an Indian actor and model. Neha loves to shop and dress up in intercultural clothing, and she loves to experiment with her look. And she's an Instagram diva. So I think because my products are so different and unique in itself, I think they will really complement the Western fused with the Indian. Sorry. Oops. Here we have Monica. She's a 23-year-old Nepali Indian. She was born in Hong Kong, raised in the UK, but she's originally from India. She's learning about her Indian heritage and is investing in traditional items that she could accessorize with her outfit. So these could be a perfect fit for her as well. And here we have Nabila, a 36-year-old female, a mother of two, and which means that she doesn't usually often gets a chance to dress up, but when she does, it's often for religious and cultural events. And that's when she likes to go all out and dress up in her best traditional clothing and accessories. So I think my products could be a perfect fit for her. Teams and roles. Currently, I'm a one-woman team, but I do intend 47 to create 4 to 6 job opportunities for young South Asian women. There's a severe lack of South Asian female representation, so I do intend to rectify that with that. The job will also offer transferable design skills and technical skills that could be utilized in future jobs. This is the timeline I'm working towards. So the first 3 months, I intend to perfect the prototyping process, and then also renting a workshop to set up the workshop and start experimenting and creating new designs. The next 4 to 5 months, I would utilize in creating a presence, social media presence, working on marketing strategies and creating packaging and getting ready for a launch. And hopefully in 6 months time, I do intend to launch Jhumka 47. To get started with Jhumka 47, I required 15 to 25K of funding to invest in a laser cutter, to rent a workshop, and to hire the initial 2 employees. So if you are interested or in funding this project, here's a QR code that you could scan to go directly to my FundMe page. Otherwise, a link will be posted in the Q&A section for you to click on. And thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. Take care and bye.
Amazing. Thank you for that, Julia. This is an opportunity for all of you that are watching to really step into and take advantage of these ventures that are in their infancy. A lot stepping at the early stages does allow for much greater gain. So this is the market for particular jewelry is massive if you think about the population and the culture and specific religious occupancy and events that are taking place. There's a lot there that you can really do with, as well as with all the other ventures that have been presented thus far. Now, just to move forward, because I know we're running out of time, Peshu will now present a company called feM. Focusing on cute style illustrations made into stationery. Over to you.
Hello. Hopefully you can all hear me fine. So welcome to feM. It's a company that's focusing on creating kawaii objects, now hoping to branch off into stationery designs. So what is kawaii? I'm sure some of you might know, but kawaii is a Japanese word meaning cute and is a style of illustration originating from the development of mechanical pencils and evolved through Japanese culture into popular characters such as Hello Kitty. I have always really enjoyed kawaii themed things. It has just been a passion of mine. I just really like collecting things like that. So I would love to be able to create my own characters and contributions that could be made into production. Here are a few designs of sea creatures which I used using watercolor, which is not a medium that is often used by kawaii artists. So I wanted to show a more unique aspect, combining deep sea creatures, which are usually a bit scary, with kawaii themed colors and aesthetics. With these designs, I went on to create some initial ideas for stationery designs, such as washi tape patterns and the sticky pad designs, as well as a sticker sheet design. I also mocked up some of these items in real life just to see how they would look. I did some samples of washi tape and some of the stickers, as well as using some resin to see what they could look like as acrylic charms and things like that. I also carried out an Instagram poll with my audience on Instagram, asking them what kind of stationery items that they prefer. And I tallied up everything that they said. Most people said they liked washi tape, stickers, notebooks, etc., which is why I chose to do the stationery items and washi tapes and stickers. I also had some other polls asking which was their favorite design. In total, there were over 15 polls that I was able to do. And here you can see some people said that a lot of people said they liked the big stickers and the sticker sheets, and much more people preferred enamel pins over acrylic pins, which made me kind of reevaluate them versus the cost of an enamel pin versus an acrylic pin, which was very useful. Through the polls that I did on Instagram, these were the final designs that were chosen that were the favorites of the people that voted. So there's 2 washi tape designs, this finalized sticker sheet, and as well as 4 designs for charms and actual stickers. And as moving on from that, I've also done some more digital type illustrations, creating some more kawaii style like characters that are unique and hopefully individual that I could use in future this development of the kawaii character. And here is an example of some of the products which I have produced or sampled, such as a pin, a coaster, some stickers, and even like handmade polymer clay pins. And you can also see that there is a doll and like figurines. And much of my Instagram in the past has focused on custom dolls and custom figures. So if you do check it right now, that's most of the stuff that is on there currently. But I also have a website, which is also a lot focused on the custom dolls, which is what I was doing before. But now I want to branch off into some stationery. But if you do check my website, if you have a chance, I'll leave a link in the chat later. But there are some commission information as well as a link to my store and my Patreon. And the best place to follow me and be able to catch up on updates that will be coming regarding these new sticker ideas in about August, so the start of next month. The best place to catch those updates is if you're able to drop me a follow on my Instagram, which is at feM.Kawaii. I will add that in the chat as well for later. But that is probably the best place to support my business at the current time. And here is just a view of the information, but I will leave that in the chat, as I said. And that's it for my presentation. It was a bit of a short one, but thank you for listening. And I hope you guys have a good rest of the day.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you for that, Pedro. Thank you, Ketivani, Lydia, Julia. Listen, first and foremost, I want to just articulate a couple of things. One, I'm super, super proud of everything that you've done. This brief in particular was not the easiest one to choose. If I'm honest, I think it was one of the most harder ones because it was maybe everything that you could have possibly done all in one. Understanding all the different skill sets within design, graphic and media all in one place, and showing how it applies in the practical world. For those of you that are watching, I think it's important that even if you're not in a place to donate, please do go out and check out what it is that these amazing 5 women are doing and support them, whether it's about telling a friend, whether it's about sending them a message of congratulations, whether it's about wishing them the best, or just get a simple follow on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it may be. The road of entrepreneurs is not easy. The world as female entrepreneurs is even harder. However, there's something to be said that out of all of the people that took part in this brief, the ones that are standing in front of you are all women. That tells you about the future that is coming. That tells you where the economy is going, and that's where we should put our faith and who we should be nurturing and supporting in order to lead us out of this economic downturn. Because with every entrepreneur you support, you also create opportunities for employees to be hired. And with that, I hope that with all of you continue to make all your businesses flourish and support those around you and those that you believe in supporting that need the extra opportunities. I sit here, not necessarily stand, extremely proud and grateful for the work that you have put in. This was a brief that was maybe on the edge in terms of with everything else that was opportunity. And you are the second round to go through it. And I would also say that in the first generation, 50% of the participants that went on to be funded either by governments or by actually get their campaigns actually fully fulfilled. So those of you who are watching, this is not a passive experience. This is a productive and active one. So please go forward and click on those links. In case you have missed them in the chat, they will all be available. You can check out all of their work on the GMD website, which is gmdlcc.com. I will paste it in the chat once again. And you can find all of their work there. All the names are present. And once again, because we're running out of time, I just want to give my gratitude for all of you that are still watching, all of you that have taken part, and I wish you the absolute best in your venture going forward into the summertime and beyond. All right. With that said, have a great evening. Thank you to the AV team for sorting this out and putting this together, which we appreciate the time for it. Happy birthday, Ketivani. I hope everything is going well. Yeah. Go and celebrate, let your hair down, and we all know we can turn the cameras off and live life. All right. Enjoy. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Chris.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.